Good morning. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the Living One. There is none like the point of singularity, the perpetual force that moves all things in place, the source, your creator, the creator of all you see and all you cannot see, the visible and the invisible, the Almighty. Peace to those that serve and worship and have turned back to the rightful worship of one God, the Supreme Spirit. Personally, myself, I don't know the Supreme Spirit's name, so I don't use a name next to it. Other people can use God's name. This has been a growing experience for me to just be able to try to let go of what other people's beliefs are and just to get away from the belief system and try to get people on board with not having a belief system any longer. If you believe something, then you believe the lie, and this is why the word lie is in believe. It's one of those words that is dual meaning. It's one of those things with where you speak the tongue. It's a double-edged sword. It means one thing and then it means another. Okay, so this is important for everybody to understand. You know, I silenced that phone and it just kept ringing and ringing. So I decided to answer it. I paused for a second. I was on a roll. I was talking about the Most High. But I think I was doing my intro as I always do. We're going to be reading here from 2 Samuel chapter 8. I haven't read this. I usually read the chapter before I bring it to you. So I know so I have a little bit of ground or background, or I can take notes on things that I'd like to take notes on. Mostly this channel here is for pointing out the inconsistencies of the Bible, trying to help you to understand and get through the riddles so that it makes it easier. I hope everybody's having a blessed day. So let's begin. David's victories. In the course of time, David defeated the Philistines and subdued them, and he took Methia-Ammah from the control of the Philistines. David also defeated the Moabites. He made them lie down on the ground and measured them off with a length of cord. Every 2 lengths of them were put to death, and the third was allowed to live. So the Moabites became subject to David and brought him tribute. So, my point, that's a pretty harsh way, don't you think, to lay people down, prostrated, by a length of cord and kill? Hold on. If 2/3 of them were killed, and that's what it's telling us right here, right now. Holy smokes, what an epiphany that I've just come across, folks. This is almost like things in the Bible have already occurred, is what I get from this, because it says in the Bible that 2/3 of God's children will die from lack of knowledge. Oh, but the Moabites weren't God's children, are they? No, they're Israelites' children. But yet, it's okay. I'm trying to understand this reasoning, because there's a continuous battle that's taking place between the Gentile and the Israelites. Okay, you got to understand that damn near this entire world are Gentile nations. And I've showed you guys and talked to you many, many times about the Gentile nations. Okay, this is why they executed Osama bin Laden. What did he call us? He called us infidels, right? Dictionary.com. So the whole thing to understand here about a Gentile is it is relating to any people not Jewish. Now, also for me, I don't hate Israel. But Israel, those in the providence of Israel today, are not the true children of God. And that's what it's pretty much that simple. That's all you got to do is understand that there's a spiritual war that's going on. And Jerusalem, those in Jerusalem today, those are Khazar Nazi Jews, or Ashkar Nazi Jews, is what they are. They're not true children. You got to understand. I mean, it's really hard for me to express to you guys that the devil is a white man, okay? And I know you hate hearing that. People just hate hearing that. But I can prove it to you with scriptures. Ezekiel chapter 31, verse 3, Bible Hub. You see, the Bible is a book of riddles, folks. So the truth is right here. Okay? No, people hate hearing this. Let's go over here to King James Bible. Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon with fair branches and with a shadowing shroud and of high stature, and his tops among the thick boughs. Let's break this down what the parable is saying, because it's a book of riddles. Let me let my cat out. I just asked you if you wanted out. You didn't act like you did. Okay, so over here, indeed, no, behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon with fair branches. The Assyrian here is Satan, folks, all right? And the cedar is what? It's a tree. Satan was the tree of knowledge of good and evil in Lebanon, okay? Very key to understand that. Well, what's going on now over there in Lebanon? See, taking a look over here at the title, Bombing of Beirut Adds to Lebanon's Mass Displacement. I'm not going to go into a long thing. I'm just pointing out that the cedar, Satan, was a cedar in Lebanon. Everything that happens over there in Lebanon, all right, with fair branches. Okay, well, how do you get there? Well, when we come here, fair skin, not dark, of light hue, not dark, not a black man, but a man with fair skin. So the Assyrian, Satan, was a cedar, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, with white skin and his shadowing shroud. What's the shadowing shroud, folks? Come on. Is anybody going to break down this stuff and tell you what it's saying? The shadowing shroud is your skin suit. It's that simple. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27, Bible Hub. We'll be getting to 2 Samuel. But I just think that reading the Bible chapter by chapter is pretty boring. So, I mean, you have to work diligently to find what's going on. So he's the tree of knowledge of good and evil with fair skin, right? And a shadowing shroud. The shadowing shroud, folks, is your skin suit. The largest organ on your body. It's what your soul has been trapped into. It's what the story of the Bible tells us, that Satan says, hey, you can have this. You don't have to listen to God anymore. You don't have to do what he says. It's a choice. And that's the choice that Satan gave you. He gave you this plane of existence here. That was his choice. The Supreme Spirit created Satan. Let me be clear on that. If everything is the point of singularity, then God is both good and evil. But you got to understand how I feel that he operates. I don't know, but I feel that he operates in a balanced system, that eventually you get what you gave on this plane of existence. You're trapped in this flesh suit, And that was the lie. That's what you fell on. And this is when you become fallen angels. And a lot of people on this plane of existence want to guide you away from believing that you're a spiritual being. And that's the key. Okay, the flesh suit is the shroud. It's the shadow. You see, this is why it says root meaning to shade. Our skin suits are what shade us. They cast shadows. That's why a soul is also known as a shadow. Okay, and sadly for us folks, you got to understand. Okay, the true meaning. I mean, we think about it all the time. It's easy for us. We're not dumb. We know the definitions of things, right? A soul of a dead person. You see, when you're born into this plane of existence, you're born into death. If there was an eternal death for us, what would eternal death be? To reincarnate and die and reincarnate and die and reincarnate and die and reincarnate and die for eternity over and over and over and over and over. Being trapped in the system. So how do you get out? That's the real question. Is there a way for us to get out of here? Well, first of all, you got to understand that we're in a simulation. Images of the lawnmower man. Okay. Lawnmowers man. Movie The Lawnmower Man. Well, look at here. It's on. It looks like it's on YouTube right now. You guys could go watch it. I'm looking for a particular scene though. Look at this picture here, man. This one right here. The eye. That kind of looks like a portal, huh? Isn't that kind of cool? You see, I see things today a little bit more differently than what they're telling us. But there's a scene in here. Trailer. Let's. I don't think I can play the entire trailer, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is. I'm going to fast forward through things and just tell you what's going on. First of all, he's kind of slow. He's not retarded. He's a child in an adult body. And he's being teased by them guys. And those guys were always giving him a shit. So Pierce Brosnan in here, as always, has a chemical. Isn't this what they're always trying to check us with? They're trying to jack us up with some kind of chemical. Well, in this case, it brings this kid, the one with the slow, and it turns him into a genius. So he's asking him here, would you like to come up to my house and be my guinea pig? There's a game up in my house that I'd like to see if you'd like to come and play. Would you like that? That's what he asks him. So he takes him upstairs to the room.
That was really bad. I have different games. I even have one that could help make you smarter. No.
There it is. So he takes this drug, right? And over a period of time, he becomes so intelligent that he's even beyond he's beyond where before he couldn't get laid. He's just like, he's a suave dude. He knows just what to say. He's just so brilliant. He turns into this brilliant, just almost like God. So that's, watch.
Certainly changed. I don't know how you did it, but I approve.
See, a woman does like an intelligent man, don't she? Right? Nobody wants somebody that's empty. Right? You know, I would love to have that innocence back. something that is purely stolen from us in this plane of existence, I really would like to have that innocence back. I think that that's how the Supreme Spirit would wish us all to be, is like children, you know, that can sit down and there is no color between anybody. And it's just a connection. So that scene right there, man, is he takes her to the lab because now he's becoming smarter than the instructor, the one that's got him jacked up on all these drugs, Pierce Brosnan. And he takes her inside of this machine and he kills her.
Normal course of events can suddenly turn inside out. You realize that?
So if you watch this scene, it shows him and Pierce Brosnan. Let me see if I can find the clip. So this is the scene that I was talking about here. He merges with the machine. You see, I don't know. I don't have facts. I can't support what I believe or what my belief is on this. I have nothing to support it. However, I feel that man has already merged with the machine, and he's done so millions of years ago. And that we live somehow in a simulation. When we can get killed in this simulation. A friend of mine the other day just asked, he's like, so how do we get out of here, man? You know? And the answer to that is the transgressions of your sin. You have to have a contrite heart in realizing that you're a soul. It's not really that difficult. You know, once you're detached from the world, it's truly not that difficult. I've been single for almost 8 years now, and I have been wanting to get into a relationship. But I don't think, honestly, that'll ever happen. Another friend of mine, she teases me and says that I'm going to get me an AI. I don't know what the word was. Let's see. Well, I was going through some things and I just can't pause the camera for a second. I wanted to find something. I'm having a difficult time finding it now. So I'll probably come back to that. Let me put that down for a minute and get back to this scene here in Law and Order, man. So he gets inside the machine, and what do they always show us here? They show us these hexagons. And what is a hex? And they show it in every movie. They show it in King Kong when he throws the spear at the dome. Those are hexagons there.
That tree!
Let's see that again. There you go, right there. Hexagons. Want some more? They do. This is a representation of the firmament, folks. Do I believe that well, I don't believe in anything anymore, because this whole damn world here that we're living in is an illusion. And it could very well be one of your parents, if not both of them. It could be your aunts, your uncles, your little daughter. You just don't know who the seed is on. I mean, the deep down rooted seed of evil, like the movie Damien. Okay? It says in the Bible clearly that children are from the very beginning, man, are evil. I hate to say it. I almost stumbled to spit that out and say it, that the children are evil. But they are. All you got to do is look at you and think of how you were when you were a child. Now, not all of them. Not all children are evil. But that's what this world does, is it tries to twist your mind into making you hate And it has done a great job at making me hate. That machine feeds off of your hate. And believe me, sometimes I get in the heat of a moment. I say some pretty nasty things. Under the dome, when it first hits the ground, we're going to get back to this lesson. I just wanted to throw some clips at you.
The show-stopping BMW i4 is...
Dear Lord, man, I wish I could run this trailer for you. This guy's all here, man. This is the opening, the trailer for Under the Dome. If you're interested in seeing that, go check it out. I don't know if you ever remember the movie, the television drama. But this is a straight-ass truth bomb, man. Straight up telling you, maybe we're being punished. You know, the whole story is about a dome that drops on a city. And there's so many truth bombs in this trailer, it's unreal. So there's your movie Under the Dome right there. Okay? I'm sitting here thinking to myself, wow, you sure did get off, man. You got off. I started going off on everything. All that from Ezekiel, who shaded the forest, branches that shaded the forest. We're under his branches of high stature. Why? Why is this dude in high stature? Because you worship mankind. You worship the flesh. And Satan is the flesh. I know that you can't understand that concept. This is why the Spirit is saying we wrestle against the flesh. It's not about wrestling with the flesh and blood. You're a spiritual being that's trapped in the flesh. It's that simple. And his tops among the thick bows. Who does that? Satan again. He's the one that exalts himself. He exalts himself above God's throne. So I find it kind of off the wall, you know, that the Israelites themselves committed this kind of carnage. You hear a lot of carnage, and you hear the Israelites being enslaved. And this is the whole story. I mean, shit, man. The Israelites, this war's been going back and forth for forever, and supposedly this is supposed to be the last time. But how would any of us know if history repeats itself and we're caught up in this simulation? That was the reason why I went off to all those pictures about the hexes. Because they're showing you that this world has placed a hex on us. That's why all of the movies always have all these hexes. I know that we're not so foolish today that we don't know what the word hex means. Why does it keep doing that? That's odd to me. So I don't know why, but for some reason it's not allowing me to spell hex. So I said the sentence, under his spell he placed her under a hex, placed a hex on her. Should have been placed her under a hex. So the definition of a hex in Merriam is one that practices witchcraft. Okay, we are living inside of a simulation, and the simulation is a hex. You're mesmerized by this life. You're just completely enthralled in it. You just can't believe that you're of your existence, and you're an eternal being. This is what's so maddening about this, is you could be born into this plane over and over and just live who knows how many different lives before you realize that, you know what, I want to return to source. And sadly, for a lot of people, like these rich bastards, they don't ever get out. They have sold out their soul and are eternally trapped inside this simulation, and they know they're trapped inside of this simulation, and they want to bring you down with them. That's the whole trick of the game, to bring you into the simulation. This simulation here.
Now to get out of here. Simple combination.
See how to get out of here. So this man already connected from what I read of the Bible and what I understand. A computer is 666. Okay. 2 Corinthians 2:11 Bible Hub. Lest Satan should get an advantage over us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. You know what else is a device? Huh? What do you have a vice? What are your vices? What? Your devices are the drugs that you do, right? Number for pharmakia in the Strong's Concordance. The word pharmakia appears in the Bible 3 times in 3 verses. Translates pharmakia as sorcery twice and witchcraft once. Not only that, in pharmaceuticals, man, it's also poisoning. Should say in here somewhere, a poisoning. Potion, medicine, cure, charm, or magic. No, that's softcore stuff. Strong's Concordance 5331. Oh my goodness gracious, they took it out of here. Properly drug-related sorcery, like the practice of magic arts, etc. Yeah, them guys took it out, man. Because if you can go, you find it. I don't know which video. I got 700 videos. I believe me, it's hard enough keeping track of what I know about this Bible, much less what I said in each video. I usually do videos with notes beside me when I'm talking about 666, but I do know absolutely that in this definition here, there's more to it. It said that a poisoning as well. Let's see. Hold on. Looks like I'm going to have to start screenshotting my content and stuff when I find this, because they always tend to take my stuff down, man, when I find something, because that's pretty huge, you know, that the use of it, the definition, the use of medicine, drug, or spell. It also says in there that they've taken out is a poisoning, just like they've taken out here Genesis chapter 1 verse 27. Excuse me. You see, the definition of image here used to say an idol, a representative figure, especially an idol. That's what it used to say. They've taken idol out. Ever since I've been breaking these codes and stuff, they've been changing stuff. I don't care if anybody understands what it is I'm sharing. It's a fact. This is a hive we live in. This group of people is everywhere. They're everywhere, just like the movie They Live. I wish you understood that. They're watching us. That's why they've got one that can see. I became one that could see, and they attacked me. And they put more fear on me than I was terrified for almost 3 years. And then, you know what happened? You know what I thought? I said, these people left my front door security screen standing wide open and stuff. They follow me down the street. They'd have truckers stop off the side of the road and take pictures of me. because I learned about them. So, and they used their technology to attack me, to burn, to radiate my body. They literally made me sick, and almost like they have these new weapons now. They're called where are we at? Crowd control weaponized radiant heat.
Including the Assistant Commandant of Effectiveness and Safety, including...
So they're using this radar, all right? This big ass radar. And it doesn't have to be mounted up on a Jeep like this, folks. Okay? It could be something as simple as a little radar dish on top of a satellite truck, an installer. Okay? Because they've used this technology against me. They were using it while I was in the home. They were frying me out, man, and I was jumping and I just couldn't get away from it. It was horrendous. I know that this is a technology that they used on me because this is a hive. These people will spend millions and millions and millions of dollars harassing you, following you, stalking you once you learn the truth. This is why I tell you people I am being watched. I don't care if anybody. This is why I have an audience. It's only 400 or 431 people after 4.5 years. I saw a channel yesterday has 14 videos. She's got 9,000 subscribers already with 14 videos. How's that happen? After a short period of time, I've been working on my channel. Now, granted, I've probably had about, realistically, between both my channels that were doing really well, I've probably had about 6,000 subscribers come in and then 6,000 subscribers leave. Okay, I have, for every one subscriber I have, I lose probably 4 to 5 subscribers, at least 4.5 subscribers, because I tickle their ears with 666 with information that they've never heard before. But then when they start realizing that it has to do with all the gods on this plane of existence, especially Jesus, you know, God of Israel comes to 666, and the Bible calls for a riddle. And how can we connect Jesus to 666? Because Jesus is the one who holds the keys to death and Hades. Jesus is the one who's holding the key to death and Hades. He doesn't hold the keys to life. So you got to make these keyword connections, okay? Just like when I show you that Jesus is holding the key is no different than okay? God of Israel comes to 666. So the parable that I'm teaching you guys, Revelations 13:18 Bible Hub, has everything to do with 666. I've broken the code of this parable. It's like I said this morning. Washington's abbreviations are WA. That's 23 plus A is 1. That's 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. The Washington Monument stands 6,660 inches by 666 inches. It was designated October 15th, 1 plus 5 is 6, 1966, and it took 6 years to build. Why did we have to stand 6 feet apart from one another, and when we're buried, it's 6 feet under? It all has to deal with the hex that we're under. We're in a simulation, folks. We have been trapped in a flesh suit. In the flesh suit, it has created this technology. Remember, Satan emulates everything. We had a natural, wholesome, beautiful world that wasn't controlled by mankind's hands, mankind who's created on the sixth day of creation. People just they keep trying to tell you that mankind and man are not the same. This is how mankind means that you're kind of a man. Okay, what are you lacking? You're lacking the spirit of life, which makes you the walking dead. Mankind in simple gematria comes to 66, and mankind are the ones that are created here on the sixth day of creation. So the Moabites became subject to David and brought him tribute. You suppose more than 10%? Do you really think that the Spirit needs 10%, the creator of all things, the very thought process that creates all things, the point of singularity, the supreme creator, the source, the one that ordains all power to everything, both good and evil? But you don't get to see the Spirit, but at the same time, everything that around you is the Spirit. Everything is intertwined. This is why evil people don't believe that evil really exists, because without either one in the fabric, this reality falls apart, because this plane of existence is both the plane of existence of good and evil. And then there's a plane of existence which is just pure goodness. Nothing dies, war doesn't exist, animals don't kill other animals, people walk around in complete harmony. There isn't anything evil that exists in it. Okay? That's the world of pure light. This is the world of duality. The one after this, the life after this, the spiritual life, the spiritual world, is nothing like this world. It's a vibration and frequency that is so harmonious to you, you just would never want to leave it. But this one here has that duality. And the way it works is Satan's the one that said that you could have a flesh suit, you could be down here, you could create your own kingdom. You don't have to worship the supreme creator, the point of singularity anymore, which permitted all this to take place. He's just... The spirit of truth is ordaining everything on the sidelines. You can't see it all. The truth is the true puppeteer. And earlier when I started this, I said that he punishes those that engage in things that you're not supposed to be doing. It's an internal voice inside of your head that drives you freaking nuts. When you're doing drugs, man, you have that voice on your head. What am I doing? Why am I here? Constantly asking yourself. When you're drinking, you're there at the bar. Before you, to the point of falling down all over yourself, you're thinking to yourself, how did I get here? What have I done? How do I get out of here? Where am I at? What am I doing? These questions plague everybody on the face of the earth. I don't care who you think you are, how well off people are. They have the same freaking problems you have, and some of them, these people that are rich, they have bigger problems than you, because they already know that they've given up something that they want you to give up. That soul. They want your soul trapped here with them, because your soul is what they feed off of, your energy. They like the fear. They love you worshiping them. They all feed off of you like a vampire. Moreover, David defeated Hadad-Dezer, son of Rohab, king of Zeboh. When he went to restore his monument at the Euphrates River, David captured 1,000 of his chariots, 7,000 charioteers, and 20,000 foot soldiers. He hamstrung all but 100 of the chariot horses. So Israel has wiped out many Gentile. So the Moabites were not Gentile, as I thought that they were. So I was wrong, guys. You see how that works? This is why I look things up. Now, I know that I've read this before. I probably have forgotten, because you and I and all of us will forget more than we've ever learned or whatever that saying is. You'll forget more as you get older of everything that you've learned. I can't think of it, but the Moabites were not Gentile, but they were an ethnic group that shared a common ancestry with the Israelites. So Israelites were killing other Israelites, and the Spirit has made it plain and clear that ye shall not. You know, if you shed the blood of an Israelite and you're an Israelite man, then by your hands, by another Israelite's hands, ye shall be strong. You shall be taken out yourself. When Arameans of Damascus came to help Hadadezer, king of Zobah, David struck down 22,000 of them. He put garrisons in the Aramean kingdom of Damascus, and the Arameans became subject to him and brought tribute. The Lord gave David victory wherever he went. David took the gold shields that belonged to the officers of Hadadezer and brought them to Jerusalem. From Terba and Berathia, or Briathai, towns that belonged to Hadadezer, King David, took a great quantity of bronze. When Tau, king of Hamath, heard that David had defeated the entire army of Hadadezer, he sent his son Jerome to King David to greet him and congratulate him on his victory in battle over Hadadezer, who had been at war with Tau. Joram brought him articles of silver, of gold, and bronze, because he no longer had to pay it to tributes to the king of Hadadezer. King David dedicated these articles to the Lord, as he had done with the silver and gold from the nations he had subdued. So this absolutely here, without a question of a doubt, now you know, is a person. Okay? Because the Spirit doesn't have anything to do with this world, folks. This is all mankind minding your matter, pulling tricks over your eyes, is what it is. In my bag of tricks, also notice this woman here is in a silhouette, and later in this song they say, "Jesus, won't you save me?" and they stick this skull right in front of your face. You see how the girl's in a silhouette? Right there, she's in a dark, kind of just a little bit lit up, but she's a silhouette in this particular case. And then he says, bag of tricks. And what do they show you? The woman. That's not just coincidence, folks, that they put a woman in the corner in a silhouette and said that they're talking about a bag of tricks. This is a truth bomb as well. They're showing you. 666. Jesus, won't you save me? I don't want to go with him. So, it's all been a bag of tricks. The whole shit and caboodle here, this plane of existence, is a bag of tricks. Okay, and David became famous after he returned from striking down 18,000 Edomites in the Valley of Salt. Oh man, I'm learning stuff here today myself. I know that Esau represents Edom, and an Edomite is not an Israelite, but they were closely related to them. Well, I guess they'd have to be closely related if Esau and his brother Abraham. Sorry about that, I meant Jacob. they were brothers, so I imagine that they'd have to be pretty close with one another. So David and Israelites struck down 18,000 Edomites in the Valley of Salt. He put garrisons throughout Edom, and all of the Edomites became subject to David. The Lord gave David victory wherever he went. So which Lord are we talking about here? Are we talking about Yahweh? Because that's who this Bible's talking about. My friend told me I was blaspheming the other day. And I'm not talking about Gravy Train. I'm talking about another white boy who was sitting at the table with me the other night. He came over. He needs to mail things. He doesn't have an address to mail his stuff to. He had a rim for his tire on his car sent to my house. He came over and we were chatting. And I do what I always do. I start breaking. He had some questions this time when he came over, and I love it when people come over asking questions. Yeah, I love it. It's not too often, and he asked me basically, man, are we reincarnated back into this plane of existence? And my response to that question was, yes, I think we are. I don't know. I can't prove it. Nobody can. But I believe that this plane of existence is a place where we are taught. The supreme spirit of truth is teaching our soul. So you know what's good and what's evil. And which path you want to take is your choice. And if you take the path of evil, then the possibility exists that you just do another life here. But I would just hate it to think that somebody goes through their entire life like a politician. They live high on the fucking hog. They create the evil. They lay down with young little girls. They commit acts of pedo, and steal from the people. Just write laws, control you, keep you held back from being able to do anything. Every penny that ever is made will always eventually go back to the government. I wish people understood that concept and how deep it is too. Unless you're one of these. See, all their money always goes into the pool. It's an endless pool of money for them. There is no, it's just an open check. Whatever you want, that's their power. That's what they have. Do you have that? No. So they control the world by a monetary system. You see? Satan told you that you could live high on the hog. He said that you could make your own kingdom. You could do this, you could do that. But he didn't tell you in the meantime that there's already people here that have failed and are here specifically and designed to make your life complete hell on earth. It's that simple. And the Lord gave David victory wherever he went. David's officials were reigned over all Israel, doing what was just and right for all his people. Do we know? Like I said, this name David, to me, I looked it up the other day, and it's not even a true name. It's a W. It's David. Reigned over Israel, doing what was right and just for all people. Joab, son of Zeruiah, was over the army. Jehoshaphat, son of Ahilud, was recorder. Excuse me. Zadok, son of Ahitub, and Ahimelech, son of Abiathar, were priests. Sariah was secretary. Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, was over the Kerethites and the Pelethites, and David's sons were priests. David's sons were priests. Okay. I was pretty sure that priest came to 666. You know what? For 4 years, I've been saying that priest came up to 66 in Gematria. And it's not. 636. 636s. That kind of, well, that makes me question if I've been wrong about a few others too. Wow. I thought that. Oh, it is an O. It's not a P. It was 636. 66. 69. Now I'm really tripping out because 42. Maybe I'm doing something wrong here. How about deacon? Okay, deacon comes to 42 and 4 plus 2 is 6. I'm blown away that bishop. I've been saying for years that priest. Am I spelling it right? I know I am. Priest. Wow. Boy, isn't that a thumb? That was like a stick in the eye for me. I've been saying for years that priest and bishop and deacon all come to, 70. I thought that priest was 79. Or 69 or something like that. 106. Well, maybe it was just a priest then. 87. There we go. Priest comes to 87, and 8 plus 7 is 15, and 1 plus 5 is 6. $69. I was lost. All right, 69. 6 plus 9 is 15. And 1 plus 5 is 6. And deacon comes to 42. 4 plus 2 is 6. So everything that's caught up in religion, all religions, definition of religion. Not that nobody doesn't know what a religion is. It's a belief and worship of superhuman powers or power, especially a god or gods. Gods, plural. Then that means that the supreme creator created other gods. And it says plainly in the Bible that you shall live like gods, but die like men. So a superhuman power, that's, let's see. Let's pop over here to the thesaurus for a second and go with imagination, power to create in one's mind. And we look at this word and we break it down. What does it say? I'm a jinn nation. I'm a magi jinn nation. It's a hive that we live in. An image is a representation or a counterpart. You see, the flesh, we have a counterpart. Is an appearance or a copy. We are copies of ourself. There is a higher existence of yourself than this plane here. Wow, sometimes I'm amazed at what's been put on me. And, you know, at the same time having this information put on you, you're almost secluded from the rest of the world. I mean, only few are on the same level of you. I mean, seriously. The rest of the world is placed under this hot hex, and they don't know it. This world here are Gentiles. This is the reason why the word legion, I don't care how you spell it, it's what it is, religion, because religion are the legions of demons. And that's all religions, not one or the other, but anyone that practices religion instead of spirituality religion is the flesh. It's superhuman power. Okay? These are gods. You're a God. You're an infinite piece of God. John 10:34, Bible Hub. Jesus answered them, "Is it not written in your law, I have said you are gods?" So in the Bible, when it says that you shall live like gods but die like men, that's because we're gods. When you come inside of this plane of existence, this is how you live of death. You got to understand that this is a cycle. You can't have life without death, and you can't have death without life. So it's anybody who wants to stay here, you're going to be born into life and death over and over and over, continually. You're going to be caught, and these people use portals, like the movie that I showed you guys the other day, Deja Vu. You know, they can look into the future. They can take a peek into the future, and they can take a peek into the past. They can possibly go back and change things, but all it does is it changes the story, and in the end, the results are always the same. There's nothing that you can do to change the past. It is what it is. You can change the story in the past, or the moral of the story, but in the end, the story is always the same. If you're ordained as a soldier and you go into the military over and over and you've killed somebody, then more than likely you're going to come back and you are going to be killed with the sword. It would have to be that way if somebody got to live their whole entire existence being rich and powerful and laying down with as many women as you want and having multiple wives and having slaves, and people rub your feet and rub your back and rub other parts of your body. And yeah, man, that's how we're conned into this plane of existence. We're all told that we can have that power, and you can have that kind of power, but you got to give something in order to have it, and that's called your soul. And that's what they're after. They feed off of the fear. I don't fear anything anymore, man. If they didn't kill me after me traveling across the United States, it just came to me. Why haven't these pieces of shit fucking killed me yet? Because they don't feed off of death. Well, they do, but they feed off of fear more so. Fear is their goal, to make you scared. Anyways, I'm going to cut out. You guys have a pleasant day. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth. This is White Raptor News Ministries.